Okay. I meant to look at it. Kind of looks white actually. I'm just gonna pull this forward a bit. I want to start off with a couple things. Um, I've already almost forgotten one, but we started off with someone new right away, so that's cool. Welcome. That was really quick. A few seconds in. It doesn't really hugely need to be said. I personally haven't experienced too many things like this, but I guess I've noticed, on other channels. But just on the topic of trolls, I just want to share something kind of. It's the person left after. They did stay for for in some cases a record 15 seconds. No, but I was watching a video where uh, and maybe it was their loved one trying to tell them, be a good troll, because it wasn't that kind of video, but where it said something about, I think the YouTube name, and not, and I don't know if they have much content, and I know it's the internet, but, I don't need to necessarily blast them, but if it's you, you want to weigh in and say, oh, cool, you noticed. And it wasn't on my channel, like I said, but it was retired internet troll, I think it was. Oh, well, maybe that's why she's not a troll anymore. Anyway, she didn't say it. I don't know why I'm assuming she, but it's weird, like I'm a kind of guy that, I don't think I'm hugely emotional, but I couldn't, and I'm just hoping I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I couldn't keep my, I mean, I'm not these days out and about a lot, which is the other thing I wanted to say actually, is that today my health has been I've been feeling fairly weak with my immune system since I woke up. I made a pretty good coffee, and once I got downstairs for about, well, took maybe a little bit after, I was feeling not bad, but so I'm gonna try and push through. But basically, so sorry if that comes into effect, or if that's obvious at times. Anyway, and I know this day and age, less maybe are hiding their emotions, but it's still a thing. But at the end of the day, we're all human, and as long as they're not, attacking someone, and we're being kind to each other, there's no need to keep them in. It's not healthy, actually, right? But for some reason, I guess when I see a soft side, even me being a male that can be very empathetic and soft, and in some ways, like that, and also knowing that other men can be. For some reason, I thought it was a woman, but there's no. I think the picture was a dog. I don't know. There's no reason why I would think that. Anyway, the point of the matter is yeah, she didn't say. They didn't say a lot, but I'm not so cold in here. I'm almost tempted to put on pants, but then I have shorts on. But then I think that I'd get too warm too quickly, because that's the way I am. But yeah, um, that person, was sharing the feelings, sharing in the feelings of, I guess the two letters can make a difference, perhaps, of the people that were being jumped for in the video, the one that more famous to do it. But yeah, so basically, I don't know if this mirror is going to be distracting, but I think sometimes it is. So I'll take it down and welcome you as you just tune in. But yeah, and they're like, "Oh, I was hoping to look at myself and get a day," because they laughed. um, as much as I act as if I take it lightly and make a little joke or whatever, and sometimes you gotta, I am starting. But I'm just cold in general. I thought the heat was on, but it is going to be nice out today. So, but it's morning. So, anywho, but it is. It's a bit annoying, but anyway. So yeah. Oh, I don't have. good meals on it necessarily. I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to also add. So I think I touched on that enough. Just that it didn't seem like a troll, but it was, because of the namesake. I just want to share something too. I know that a lot of people, and I do and don't feel like mediums should touch on this, but I know that a lot of people, when they lose someone, they think they could have done more. Is one of the things, right? And I'm just thinking, I guess in things I've seen, nothing specifically that stands out in my mind, but videos I've watched or whatever, it's kind of like, kind of like wanting everybody to know that um, that's not the case. And it's kind of, sort of, my articulating this may not be great, but it's kind of like, for me, it's maybe at times like I don't have enough support, or I don't know enough what to do in my situations, um, or sometimes who to reach out to at times. Um, so it's just the kind of the way things happen. I want to say naturally, but just sometimes the way things happen, it's nobody's fault. And the other thing is too, sometimes somebody can be there a lot for a loved one who's passing away, and the loved one still passes away. And I've been noticing more and more lately as I've been going through my, hopefully, just mild, hopefully, and get under control health problems, that but like I think about a recent loss that I've been through, and just in general, it's like the body will do what the body's going to do. We can't stop it. From doing what it's going to do and running its course as it's going to. Uh, I guess, yeah. It seems like sometimes it's just on the second audio dot. Net rarely gets to the middle, but I've never noticed any audio problems. I did in the setting things up today. Notice the new thing about ads, and I didn't get the second part. The part where it says, for anybody that posts videos, can you maybe help me out with this? We choose ads at blah blah blah. Something about a human review. What's that about? Like, I understand the two words, but what's I don't understand. Um. So nobody's here right now. I know. I don't know if I really feel like having conversation. If comments, great, but like trying to be on the phone, that update my network as it did in the past. Even if she's great and wants it to, and I want it to, it might not. But also, um, uh, also, sorry, like I say, I'm slightly not under the weather. Just my health is a little, so I'm feeling a little slow. But let me, and the viewer left really not much patience. What was this one update? It made sense when I said it, and then it was gone. But I do, and I mean, I notice it with dreams when I wake up sometimes. So this, I want to say something about this actually. This we recently did in the laundry, and it's a towel I've had since childhood, and I think it's really pretty, isn't it? And I guess I was wearing it. I don't know. I guess I was. I don't remember being hugely chilly last night, and I'm often wearing this thing, but for whatever reason, I had this on as well, and and then they were both on the couch before I came upstairs today, and I thought I came up with just this on, but this was somehow also with it. um. Oh, okay. I thought. Oh, okay. Um. So I don't know why that number is so big. I should look and see if there's anything new, but I'll do that later. Although I kind of want to do it now, and nobody's here at the moment. So, but I always try to remember those who come afterwards. Yeah, and I mean, this has only been just 10 minutes. It feels like longer. Yeah, I did see the word student, mother. Sorry. Um, just about some jobs. May or may not be. Well, what would be great is if to have somebody tune in, hear a bit, work on a comment. I might just have to do these in shorter sections today. Energy level and just I might. Um, but there are two things that I feel I want to bring up, maybe a song as well. Welcome, because and I just explained this a little bit more, but so I'm not going to redo that. But and the viewer's like, okay, well, if I missed it and I really want to know, bye bye. I'm saying it after they leave. I'm not saying it, and that's why they leave. Um, and I want to spread the word because in a way it's self promotion, but sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need a little bit more attention and I should have brought my phone up here actually. Maybe I will go down and get it. I don't want to be away too long, and when I'm away, I'd rather it be when at least one or honestly just one, but more is welcome. One person can really make a difference. A like, sure, it's not super specific a lot of the times, but sure, a like is nice. But some comments is and everybody, a lot of people on YouTube go on about views. And I thought I found, but maybe didn't the other day where one person said, well, it's about more than that. It is. I mean, a lot of these, I mean, I say that there's just so much on YouTube and maybe some, I don't know. I'm not sure. Algorithms, people go on about algorithms. I'm not sure. But point of the matter is that um, comments are even better. And I'd rather somebody be here enjoying what they're watching, working on a comment while we're live here, and I can go. And it's only because my system's kind of telling me, and also because we might get because well, I can maybe be doing some promoting during, but as whether you've seen this channel or not before, and the person that you just left, and that really is getting much. But again, you know what? I also do these for me. You know what? If somebody else gets something good from it, and or some conversation, hopefully with me as the creator, as the creator of the content, but not just me, like my but if that's what people fear because they've seen this and they're like, well, I'll watch. And today I wonder if maybe the loved ones of one particular one of my most recent losses, well, aside from Roger, but just in general, if they ever are seeing these, if they're not, I never really thought to say it because I know it's true and I think it comes across, but it depends how much people watch too, of course. But like, nobody realizes this, it seems like, but it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to be afraid of. I am going to quickly go downstairs though and get the other phone because I just realized I might be expecting a call. Although I don't know if I really want to be talking on this topic, and I don't know if I unmuted it after last night. Also, not sure if it needs to be plugged in. I think my phone. really. But yeah, I learned about a new type of cancer today, and I'm a little bit worried. Not that I have, but who knows? Um, oh yeah, and then the motorcycle comment. I think this is a pretty active thread, but actually, and it wants to put an S after the L. Um, um, yeah, because there's lots of them. Basically, maybe I'll just state this just because, to know it. Second time I've seen that post today. Bladder cancer. Anyway, so the message that come to me beforehand. That's surprising. That made me wonder, even though I believe in this gift and so whatever. But so I'll roll for another. I want to at least. I do have a bit of a plan or an outline with this, and here's what I think I'm going to do. If by chance there's some communication or interactions or whatever, I would hate to kind of cut that short, especially if it's just kind of started. Then I might stick around. Yeah, so because I unintentionally I like the material, came up with that, and I have been a bit chilly, but putting on socks and putting this on has helped. But yeah, basically, and it does, it kind of looks like a great beige cream color. Yes, but the thing is that, yeah, like I don't know if I did actually articulate that I am also expecting a call, which I need to have my auntie for because it would be the first time connecting with this person, and it's to get to know me. I don't know if they have questions. Well, if they have questions, either that they're supposed to ask or being planned to ask, and just putting on lotion. But so I need to watch my energy. I did say late morning initially, but that was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Somebody had been on holiday that was connected to the place, but there's 2 people that kind of work in the area, but more so one in the department, I guess you could say. And what do you call it? I suppose if they called, I'm either just not feeling up to it or too distracted and not sure I want to share this topic with them right away, even though I know I'm doing it on here. But there is the title that kind of is a bit of a clue. Then I can just plan a different time for them to call. I would hate to say no when they call, but if I'm physically not in it and up to it and I'm not in the right headspace, then I can suggest later today, perhaps. They might be calling from another province or something, but hopefully the time difference wouldn't be that much. And I hate to just, but if I'm not being told ahead of time when they might call, then I mean, it might not be a convenient time for whatever reason. So, 6:39. Sometimes that's inaccurate, but it seems like this time it is too. Yeah, because that's from this morning. It says it's loading, but so just jumping kind of into just really was quickly looking at something here. Jumping into some people really have a short patience or attention span. It seems like, I don't know, but as I get distracted by a picture that I feel mixed about. It's the kid's perspective, so it's a little less odd, and it apparently does happen, and I'm not surprised in this day and age, but I'm not too sure what to think about a photo I just saw, as my own ADHD was. But let's hop right into this, and it's a bit of a slow start, but hopefully this will be healing to you as well. So, and the viewer, just as I was looking like I was going to get it. And I mean, I don't do that, but anyway. All right, I'm going to do it anyway because I have a lot of free time today because I don't have money. I don't have energy. It's nice out otherwise, though. And I don't have anything that I need to do. I have a couple of things planned next week and a couple of things on tomorrow. Other than that, it's just keeping up with correspondence and stuff. That's very interesting. And I might do it. I was thinking Crescent Rose, which is a very interesting song, but I don't know if I really want to sing those lyrics. It's not, I mean, yeah, okay, so maybe sometimes my OCD or whatever is choosing what it wants to find comfort in or choose, it's choosing, like I do this thing sometimes where I kind of try and double out or rule out something that's making me anxious, if I can it's hard to explain in the moment, but this is maybe a good example of it. What was the song again? I just said something that made me think of it. Oh, right. I'm just thinking of the chorus, though. Basically, I'm thinking of two songs from the same place, and my mind, because of this pattern I sometimes do, told myself, okay, well, that means that the second one means that this is not you anymore, not like you anymore. But I can't take away the something special that came to being yesterday. Meet me in the middle. Huh. Meet me in the end. Help me just a little, just enough to show you care. Don't mind saying, just can't make it. I'm just thinking of the light shining on her red or auburn hair. I'm thinking of sister. I'm thinking sister. I'm thinking woman sure can be a friend of mine. It was ironic. It was just after Christmas. I don't remember talking about how Christmas was, but there wasn't a whole lot to say this year. And I don't think he was back at work, but this song was on the radio in Lynn's sister's car last time we saw them. Called last night, but last time we saw them, and makes me think of high school. And it's weird that it wasn't Christmas songs. I do just have to quickly go to the other room. I'm very, very sorry. If you're tuning in and you happen to be watching on the playback up to this point, and it's just my body's telling me I need to go take care of something. I'm trying not to be discreet. Anyway, and you're thinking, okay, when's he planning to come back? Skip ahead about 10 minutes. Okay, 5 to 10 minutes. Or sit and meditate during this time. I'll be right back. I hate to do it, but keep feeling like it. You know what I'm going to do? I just had an idea before I go do that. Think up a little bit. I'm going to put on. I was telling somebody about this recently, but I don't know if I wasn't telling them about the video, and I don't know if that will ever come to be. But I believe he does it through the Glenn. Sonny's going to think that we're sleeping. Is it in this one? It used to be in this one, actually. Yes. Okay. We have somebody that just tuned in. I have to hear me out on this, and okay. I'm gonna quickly summarize, and then you can what I plan to do when I come back, and then what I'm gonna do while I'm away, and such and such. So basically, my loved one, I do and don't feel like she feels like I'm having a hard time accepting her passing, but I could understand why she might feel that, and maybe it's somewhat true. Um, I feel like she almost wanted to say how hard her passing was, even though she has to accept it. She does accept it, and it was meant to be. Um, I also want to share an email that was sent to Lynn from angel friend of mine that I haven't had a lot of contact with. Honestly, I wasn't that close with her, but but was very special, and I thought, oh, that might be worth sharing. You know, it's because it was special and the impact in that. And then a song, at least one song, possibly two. Jimmy Earl and Middle and King of the Road. And I think I'll feel a bit better when I can focus. But because I can't, well, I could play a bowl in there constantly. But I don't know. I've had bowls in a few of the videos recently. I know that they've had a lot of popularity. I've been noticing it with people in our circle, so to speak, since January, especially. But you know, and here and there otherwise. But so what I'm going to do is play a relaxation track that Glenn's made because it's a shared channel that Glenn's made using the bowls, and I think in some of them keyboard, and I'm not sure what else. But I'm going to do that. Oh, the only thing is, and now I can't find the video tab. Oh, come on. Oh, there it is. The only thing is I'm not too sure how it's going to come through on the well, I know because I didn't have this connected downstairs and because the green dot's still moving, I know that this still works even without the speaker in it. So I can use this speaker right beside, and I think the fact that it's not coming through the same machine won't distort it. And also if I have it at a low volume, because I think otherwise it might. I go to the track that we were in before. If you haven't recorded, I can't believe we haven't made one that long. But yeah, I think if I play it through the same machine, it might distort it. I wish I could actually show something actually happening in the room though. That way, people wouldn't just say, "Okay, there's an empty room. Is he in there?" I'm also going to add a comment so people can see that. Not a super long comment, but hopefully they'll notice it, especially if it highlights the name as well. But it can only be 100 characters anyway. Okay. I was thinking of keeping it playing while I'm doing it. I want to play this back and see how it sounds. I should do that before I leave just to get it adjusted well. 338. That's ironic because the code is so. And how is that coming through? And how is that coming through? I'm not hearing it at all. This. Can you hear that music? I'm not going to let it go for too long. So if you think, oh, I don't want to go to sleep right now, or that's too relaxing, I'm just going to do it for like 10 minutes before I kind of jump back into things. I'm guessing it sounds not terrible because somebody's been here. Oh, that could be me, because I came to this other device. Let me just see for a moment. When I go, does it go? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I can't hear it in here, but I hear it loud in the room here. Almost to the point where the speaker's rattling. I should just keep that there so I think it's me, but then I'd be thinking it's this person who's saying here for a long time, which is cool, but not saying anything. What's up with Dave? I'm gonna go and see. One thing I can say is I go grab one too. Oh, okay. And when I went out, although I thought it was a bit of a delay, when I went out of it on this device, there is still somebody watching, but it didn't say two, which is weird. I was doing a sound test from the other room, was one of the things I was doing, and I don't like how the image displays. Oh, but now left on the tablet. Like, you know how cameras sometimes reverse. Oh, that feeling you have to. The cameras sometimes reverse. That was quite a bit of a delay, though. It's only 5 minutes. Well, good way to time yourself. Time things. I don't know. I guess one thing is I wasn't seeing myself on the screen. Now I'm kind of curious to check again. Oh, okay. I mean, it's a bit better, but I'm noticing all the wall behind me. That even when I look on this one, which I didn't notice before. I don't know why that music didn't seem hearable on here because it was plenty loud in the room. I don't know if I should keep it playing, but anyway, and I think it just. Oh, I was looking at the screen, and just the desk. It looked kind of odd, like it was in an odd kind of like it had been pushed slightly to a different spot, but still essentially the same spot. Like it didn't just look like it was just thought, but I guess it was, and my eyes are just not accepting that. I don't know. So, and I'm feeling a smidgen better after taking that few minutes, but I'm still so. But that was good. Um, don't presume nothing. Um, have to excuse me, I'm not at my best. Home for a rest. Some people would say, if you're not going to put your best self forward, but you know what? I'm always going to have ADHD. I'm always going to things are gonna sometimes pop as someone tunes in, but I'm not doing currently. Things are gonna pop into my mind, and I am fairly verbal, and sometimes they're worth sharing, but and this health stuff, I've just gotta kind of push through, stay strong, and try to go about things as I normally would. And I think that as the viewer goes, and I feel that does show strength, because sure, there's never going to be 100% or perfect, but so back or just tuned in, welcome. But even on the best days, I actually heard Judy say something to someone recently that I mean she's Judge Judy, so it doesn't surprise me. But I'm better than you, even on my worst days, whatever. She uses her fame. She can be nice and soft, but yeah. And I can't remember the case, and I don't remember. Wasn't the one that worked with Ed. I don't remember if the person in the case was that bad. I mean, sometimes they are, but rarely. But to her, and she should be kind of numb to some of it because she sees so much of it. Anyway, so I'm not 100%. Oh, we have two people here. Welcome. Don't be shy in the comments. One thing that I could say is if there's a particular, and then they both leave. So that's bizarre. But sometimes people are having technical issues, or they're just scrolling, and then just so happens, for whatever reason, the video underneath, which is possibly not me, or maybe it is, draws them in more. But one thing I can say is if there's a soul of a loved one, you don't have to say details. Like I saw Matt say in a video today, and I guess fairly often, but kind of often anyway. I can do the rest, and the viewer just leaves. But you say if there's one particular, if there's one or two people, relations, friend, family that you want to hear from, giving little things like that, even though sometimes I'll pick up on it, giving little things like that, and I don't know why that little blue from YouTube under the comment is not, I don't think, a huge thing. We all have different relatives. We all have friends, whether they passed on or they're of our past or whatever. I mean, that doesn't give away anything. It's then what's said, Chapstick. I feel awkward that's kind of the thing's looming in the other room, but we have spraying a little bit, and I didn't want to be nosy. Although with the music playing, I might test that again. But I mean, again, and I don't want to confuse the dog. What are we sleeping? I mean, I think it was plenty loud in here. I don't, and was the volume up all the way? Oh, maybe it wasn't. Let me just try that again. a moment here. I forgot to go back to the other video too. I kind of feel this device vibrating, but it doesn't make sense to try and hear it in the room that's playing. So I do have to share something. I'll maybe keep this playing. Again, full volume, tablet. I don't need it anyway. This is a long one, so it may or may not let us continue when we have a nap later. Because sometimes if it's been previously played, if it's been more than an hour or whatever since it's been played, it won't keep playing the full thing. I do associate it with sleep though, and one of us in our home has a health. Well, we both have health problems, but one of them, meds have been helping, and small dose twice a day, and such and such. But and the health issue, I almost do want to keep drinking coffee, but I have more than I used to do. Plus, I had some other issues. But one might put me to sleep. Might help keep me focused, keep me grounded, though. Not that I need an aid for that, but I'm also associating it with sleep and thinking about how someone sleeps. So luckily, nobody's watching at the moment, and it's 42 minutes in to hear me say that. But some videos that do just get longer, whether you're interviewing somebody or not. I've never done one that's exactly 2 hours longer. I think actually the limit's more than we might expect, but I don't know if you have to have premium or something for it, because I think I've seen 10-hour videos, or at least 8 for sleep ones. I guess so. If you wake up more than the washroom, you can just go back into the mode. I don't know. I don't know if I feel it gives me strength and vitality, but it does feel good. Oh. It's weird because it's a sensation stretching, right? But it's not an uncomfortable one necessarily. Oh. That's feeling great. I think it's more than a week positive that I have, because this has been going on for almost 2 months, and it ebbs and flows, and sometimes my symptoms, whatever they are stronger than other times. Some of them have seemed to have went away. That's true. For the past 2 or 3 weeks, the pain kind of my lower back side area, like my lower side back where I think the kidneys are, that hasn't been too bad. The chest, it's not been what it has been. It hasn't been as tight as like feel like there's a cough there that can't get out. It's not been the chromostasis or whatever it was that I had. Pretty sure it was that inflammation. That does seem to have went down. The feeling when I touched my chest, that mostly seems to have went down. I do have still some of it, but and I like to post everything, but on the other side, it just because it's the warmth, and I'm just trying to use up that bit really, but it's more been the neuropathy. I think the numbness, tingling legs, and hands, and the carpal tunnel, and I woke up this morning with a headache. I don't often get those, and a bit of a sore neck. And it was like feeling like I was noticing it into my eye almost. Almost both of them, maybe. I little on this one, a little on that one. And as I'm talking about it, I'm feeling it. But it did go away naturally. So it's early enough to have some coffee. But there's one thing about what's showing here that I want to wait to see if it resonates with somebody when they tune in. I do have that playing low. For a moment there, I almost was like, "Is it still playing?" Oh yeah. I am kind of associating, but I could say, "Well, I'm doing this and that," But I mean, again, it's white light energy of loved ones, and that's all I welcome in, and everybody else's too. So, got Eva. So do I do? Eva. Just kidding. But kind of. But I must say, it's very interesting. Well, it also makes me think how she gave us some of these. I don't remember why or whatever, but a lady that lives a couple streets away from me used to kind of go for further dog walks, or mostly dog walks, not biking. I don't know. I think I've got new anxiety, the health stuff, this and that, whatever. And I lost it, found it, lost it again. Something that I wrote for this neighbor, who we might get to watch our dog while we are away seeing Glenn's sister. I'm just going to turn this down a smidgen. I don't know how loud it is to the person that just did it, but I have a question I want to specifically ask. May or may not relate, but it seems meant to be to ask, so I will. We have one person here right now, just tuned in. I believe this is and they left. I guess it's true. Maybe some people don't want to be pressured to answer something. Maybe they're like, okay, I'll timestamp. This was 47 mark later. If it's really eating at me, I'll come back and look and see what he said. So maybe I should still say it anyway. It's not pressure to say anything. And I wish they were still here, because I could say that I'm pretty sure that I did not select for the live chat to show afterwards, because you can. I don't know. I guess maybe because it might be distracting. Maybe like a lot of people. Some people, I don't see it a ton, but I do see it. And also on other social media, where people, not that there's one other site that I rarely use that you can put videos on, but not for much longer. But when I see them kind of reading their comments and conversing with and so the live ones often are caught and communicated with and replied to live. So maybe it's just a way of kind of saying, okay, now I don't want those distracting me. I want to focus on whatever comes on and after. But basically, there's an advertisement. It's another channeling video that I have open, not mine. And it looks like it's in an office, but I can't quite tell. But I don't know if that's significance at all. And it's about someone's grandson. But again, that may not be where it's significant. But it's an advertisement. It's a very random, somewhat ironic, for a couple of reasons, actually. 3, I guess. Being, it's for kind bars. Like we have them here in Canada, and I think they're not just Canada, but they're like a granola bar. And it's also Thursday, and it's also when that group would start. But yeah, that's right. They got a call. They're painting again. They've been painting a lot lately. But I don't feel like I got a lot of calls lately. But like the past 2 or 3 months, they've been painting a lot. And I don't. Yeah, I should look. No, I think I looked up Kathleen. I think I looked her up to see if she passed away. We go channeling people with an accent or a kind of unique way of speaking, but at least just not my voice that I'm hearing. Because when the angels and loved ones talk, I know what they sounded like for me. I know what they sounded like, especially if I knew them. And it's kind of like, no, I just the words get processed into my head and then written or spoken out. I don't exactly hear their voice. It's just I hear the words. That's a good way to put it. But if I knew their voice, then somewhat. But so this makes me think of how that neighbor gave us those, and we might come in contact, but we haven't talked with her in so long, it feels awkward. So it's not really a neighbor, it's somebody that lives 2 or 3 streets away. Somebody was briefly here. I just don't know how that's coming through, and it's even softer than it was before. So the music, and if I couldn't hear, I don't know why. It just doesn't have problems like that, and it's playing out of the cell phone. I could play it in the other room, but I'd have to play it out of the cell phone or out of this. But I don't want the dog to think, oh, you're having a nap. Well, so what if he does, I suppose. Part of me wonders about playing this in the other room, but then that's even closer because it's the bedroom. It's where we sleep. I kind of like having it in the background. I don't know. Then I could test it on that one. Let's just do that in this room for a moment. I know it's going to be slightly awkward because I started that track in there and now on here. Ooh. I'm just so surprised that I couldn't hear it. And OneDrive doesn't even want to open on here and stay open. So it is what it is. I don't need this connected to do this. If people would like relaxation music playing in the background, if they tune in and stay, then we can go from there. I didn't mind it, but I guess I found it a little bit distracting to me. But I can put up with it if somebody else liked it. Because I'm such a people pleaser. You know, think about a family member recently. I don't know her super closely. She's kind of a blended family member, and even Glenn doesn't know that much. And I was thinking about how, I understand we can all be selfish, but, you know, the people pleaser, you could say, oh, well, I should have just wanted to go to that because, but I was unable, first of all, and I really had no interest in that kind of stuff. I really had to get the truth over because but it's not new to people. But people that haven't seen it before, it would be. I have things open about it. I think I'll look at it, scrying. I don't know, try to figure it out. But what was I saying? I don't know. Oh, so like like she. So I could have been the people that said, "Oh, I'll just go anyway." But then this is an example that's coming to mind. But then she clearly wasn't. She wanted to go to what she wanted to go to, and that was that. That was not 4 hours ago, was it? I guess it was 7, 8, 9. I guess I saw it around 7:30. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm gonna try not to like. Next time we have someone that tunes in, I'm not going to mention them, but I am going to say the rest of what this is showing me. But yes, it made me think of that lady that we live near. Ironically, the word kind is in the title, this advertisement. And for people that want to say, oh, your devices can listen to you, I don't see it all that often. There is such thing as coincidences, I feel like. I don't think I have certain features turned on for it to do that. And it's simply a title. It would have to have read what was said under this account on this device and told this device on the other one. So I don't. But so the neighbor, the title, and I felt like there was a third thing, but I can't think of what it is right now. So, red cardinal. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. Oh, the other coincidence was not necessarily about the product, But there's this guy in this advertisement in a suit and what I believe is a red Lord, I don't know if he's passed away. And I don't want to tell myself yes if it's not true, although it is someone I've kind of, I don't know if I've had a falling out with them, but they've kind of just faded out of. But some people, when they're having mental health issues or whatever, they just do that with a lot of people. I also had a guess. It's not entirely personal, but maybe. But yeah, I don't know what that's what's up with that. Why is that Rachel? But and then also Lauren Grant. Anyway, it's got this. It's like a bird in a suit and tie and white shirt. And people think this guy's crazy. He's having weird hallucinations, and that. Not that anybody's here to see it at the moment, but yes, I have moments where I maybe. Be right back. I almost want to do this as a second one in the series, but I'm going to be under an hour and a half, I hope. And the title's good, and it will process when I do that. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about the first time I talked about this. Summer, spring, travel, the trip, a little bit. Health. Emails, I don't know. Okay. Oh. So, yeah, that doesn't mean anything to me. The other thing, I recently emailed my brother and I asked him if a picture of what I think clearly looks like a hawk that Lynn posted, but his caption said it was a crow. I didn't fully base the caption, but I said, "Do you know what this means?" He says, "No, you'll have to tell me." And it was nice that he was actually curious because he does not seem like a super curious type. I mean, I know, but geographically, in other words, been different, be distant. But the thing of the matter is, I didn't get very much there. The thing of the matter is it may have been something that was more special to him. That him and living in other countries wouldn't have known, especially if we never did mention it. Maybe we never, and even if we did, it was a long time ago. He doesn't even remember what he said at the funeral. He thinks that would stick out in his mind. I know that it was a really good speech for a 15, 16-year-old, 14, 15, 16, somewhere around there. But, that does kind of make me think of one of the people that I was kind of wanting to bring into this. I wondered if I'd ever get to visit you, my friend. How's it going, buddy? I feel like she wants to fist pump. Can I crash your podcast a little? So what she alluded to before I started was, this feeling of, this feeling, but then it's also something else I haven't noticed a lot, especially after. But I don't know. No, you're stressed about all the stuff you feel is going on. Just breathe, my friend. This feeling of she felt that I was struggling to, I don't know if I'd say let go. We don't want to that's a lot of minutes, yeah. McRae, Mark Ray. I don't know. It might mean this particular message. I don't know. It may or may not resonate with somebody with that name, McRae or Mark Ray or Mark. Ray is a short form of a female name that I'm thinking about right now. But and I don't know. I guess if I have that setting, great. If not, it's a 58 mark. And I feel like, again, this may not super specifically resonate with your situation. Parts of it may, or what you've been through. Parts of it may, but if not, then you can come see me next time I'm live, or comment, and if it resonates with you, truly, honestly, if it does, and if you're lying, you'd probably still get a message from one of your loved ones that went by it every night. But it's best to be honest, right? And doesn't have to be spelled the same way, or whatever. Then I can try and do that later. I mean, for to do it, essentially, but yeah. So we don't have to and shouldn't let go of our loved one passings. I almost do want to play that music again. I feel like today, for whatever reason, I want that background. It might, if it comes through well for somebody else, it might. I was like that one that stayed for a while. I was like, I guess it was for them, but 16 minutes. Oh yeah, because that was 5, and then another 6 or 7. Was me, but it'll add to the experience, hopefully. He's very talented in making these things. I like most of them. We have go-tos, yes, but why not? Right? Why not put them up there a little bit? Right. When you look at that comment, though, it made me say, if you're curious, but I don't want them to recognize because they were group, but it was a messenger. But maybe I can send a message to the person. Messages with Marky's been showing all the stuff too. I said, okay. But basically, it wasn't bad, just a messenger. But I can just say, I mentioned, and then I can say mentioned, that I make tracks. I don't think the person who was asking liked it, but somebody did. Here they are for curious. Although I seem to remember looking at her page and feeling like different about how friendly they are. But I could be wrong. But we'll start it from, I hate to say 103, but it is, or I also don't know if I really want them to. I want them to hear a sample of it, and this is just a little sample, just one. There's so many to pick from. A lot of them are similar to each other, but I also don't want them to, if they decide that they might like to somehow buy one of these tracks off of us, or get one of these tracks from us, I don't want necessarily, we'd send them the version where I'm not talking with them to associate what I'm saying with it. Or necessarily even, it's up to them, I suppose, but. Because it's meant to be relaxing, it's meant to put you to sleep. Eventually you'll just be so tired, and it's nice music, and if I'm not talking, they just work out that way. I don't want it to be seen on the phone, but I also want them to know. I also want to know the answers to the questions. He knew I wanted more information. We kind of said there was something else he was getting curious about, but I can't remember what it was going to do to that, aside from the chat drink. Says, yeah, we should be before making a decision. It's weekday night they're having their fundraising party for the office. Why can't they do it on a weekend? What, because they want their weekends? I know, but it's just And some people don't like to slow down and relax, or don't have naps in the afternoon or at all, really, just their main sleeping. So it's kind of like they just want to keep going. So like, yeah, just go there. But like people would, even if they live nearby, like you said, might as well get a ride there at least, because like you'll be home for like an hour and then that's it. But anyway, okay, there was somebody here for a moment. They didn't stay, and I've got to wonder if it's because of the music. It's not that loud though. I see Ray. She's kind of holding her hands together. She's kind of standing like and doing that thing where she's kind of on the ball of her foot. She kind of used to stand like that a lot. She says, "Hey, bro, you're teasing the way I stand." No, I mean it's part of. I was gonna say part of who you are, but that sounds weird. I mean, I hate to say it maybe, but I actually always thought it was cute. And like, oh, there you go again. But she says, so yes, it's not a matter of letting go as much as it is. If I talk with my eyes closed, maybe that'll bring in. As much as it is healing from. I don't want to become famous on it because not everybody's gonna like it. But welcome. I kind of want to have background music playing in this. I just don't know, like gentle relaxation music. I don't know how it's going to come across. If you'd be so kind as to let me know, I can play it. But I also, if it's going to cause a bunch, it's low. If it would make a bunch of static or distortions or whatever, that would be unpleasant. And the viewer goes, then I don't want to. But I mean, you can tell me pretty quick, but the person left, but whatever. But she says, I've been visiting you and you know it. She says, and so you should realize that this is for me, but if it impacts you, great, but and some of us have a lot of struggles and we gotta excel at what we do good at, what we can do. Like my dad's first message. And you all gotta make it. But anyway, I'm not making anything from this other than the experience. She says, I'm really proud of you and all that you're trying to do. You want to help others. You want to learn and your strength. Um, in your own struggles. She says that is something to be proud of, my friend. Um, my loved one, if it's someone you like to just say brother, sister, whatever. I don't know if there was significance to starting with brother. Also, I'm still wondering about this red cardinal. So I kind of said that there was this bird connection. I was thinking my grandmother, but not that type of bird. So I don't know. But anyway. But it's interesting because also I can't get past that. Sorry, Ray. I like calling that. Anyway. I didn't in life, but I can't get past how my brother said, "Oh, it's spring. It's nice to hear the birds." I mean, sure, the birds like when it warms up, but he's in France. It's not like it's that cold there, and he acknowledges, like our winters aren't comparable. But I'm thinking the birds, some maybe, but just like anything else, but most don't cease to exist. I don't know how long birds, especially like sparrows or whatever, cease to exist once winter comes. Like they're around, they're here. Why aren't you hearing them any other time? Like I'm glad that he emailed me. It was nice, but anywho, Ray's saying, "Is it okay if I call you bro? Is that a trigger thing for you?" I like the word, even though I know everyone doesn't. That I It's hard to explain, but I actually really like when I hear like guys say, I don't know. I mean, I guess sometimes I feel a little bit jealous of it, but like, bro, dude, mate, whatever. I like that. Bud, I think of my step. You could say flower buds too, but I think of my step and how he used to use that, and that's not necessarily great feeling. But you know what? She kind of says it different. She doesn't say buddy, which is a little bit different, perhaps sounding. She's a different person. That may not mean that I can always look past it, but no, I like it. You know what? We were buds. We were friends. In fact, bro and bud are more like how she talked than my friend, but I don't think she wouldn't say that, because we were friends as well. Um, just checking, she says. So I'm sorry to you and all my loved ones that, I see you guys saying, wow, she's really passed away. She was too young. This can't be real. Things like that. I feel bad. I'm sorry. That's it's interesting. Like this is being slightly more elaborated than when I started. What's interesting about it, especially, is that like, people can say, oh, we don't want to see our loved ones, or would rather see us happy, but you know what? We're humans and we feel a range of emotions, right? But it's also kind of like, I'm thinking of the insert a little bit. But like, yeah, I'm thinking now. I'm actually quite hungry. I don't know what my first meal's. Well, actually, it's not really my first meal, but I didn't eat heavy earlier. I know I really don't want to be past. Oh, right. I think I was gonna make those things. Okay. I don't know if that'd be filling enough. I'll make a lot of them then. I quite like them. And the disguise is the broccoli, which is good because some sort of veggies, but I'm also not a big meat eater or seafood. But also because I was a bit of a trigger too. But yeah, no. So when I first saw it was at the funeral, and I thought, why is this? I didn't overreact, but in my head, I'm thinking, he's telling us how to feel. Like, what the heck? Like, or it sounds judgy. This little blurb in the card thing. Um, when I've looked at it a few times since, there's still a part of me that does feel that. There's also a part of me that doesn't, though. We might have somebody tuning in just a moment here. Especially since this person just liked a couple of my comments, and then when I said, um, that I'm rolling on YouTube right now, he liked that too. I think it's a guy. I don't know with this name. Okay. But I figured, hey, nobody's here right now, so maybe bring him in. Welcome him to my world, my day. And he's not here yet, and this is well into the video. I don't know why. When I look at him, I get the vibe of somebody that might be, I don't know if I'd say old school, but possibly a bit of a skeptic, possibly either not believe or not really understand this, but maybe we'll find out. And it is a number of minutes in, but I don't imagine that this is going to be that much longer. And also, and that's just first five, could be wrong. Also, I don't want to have to retitle it and do the setup, even though it's easy. Um, so, but yeah, it's kind of like, so I had a bit of an outline as to what I wanted to do with this video, and let myself get kind of distracted. And that, and also my system, my body was, giving me different signals, and that was distracting. But kind of what she says, I mean, one of her phrases that I was fairly close with her. Although the main thing that I knew her from, music based, you wouldn't, I'm gonna have to eat soon, my stomach's telling me. At least those things are quick. Well, although I prefer to make them crispy and then heat them up. So um um doesn't really matter what time it says it is, unless it's like really late, then maybe it's just relaxing home. Looks like it might depend what area, but essentially, um, but yeah, sorry, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm pretty sure I typed the name wrong, unless it was a typo, but. I'm looking forward to hugging the dog and having something to eat soon as well. But yeah, basically she says, or feel the feels was something that she said. And yeah, although what I'm planning to eat, because I don't really want pasta, I'm not really sure what else I'd have, and I just don't want to go for something. I'm trying to watch my spending and the energy wise, even though it looks lovely. I'll open the door for fresh air. I also want to take that sign over there. But might not really do a lot for me. I mean, the pierogi dinner was really nice last night, but it was, again, mostly more carbs. I did put some nice stuff on it. I didn't have onions, but tried to make paneer seem like onions, just some paneer. But anywho, if this does get any comments before it finishes up, I'm going to read them in my head, because I think that I just need to be taking moments where I'm not verbalizing at times, because I've been at it for about a little over an hour. Somebody just tuned in. Welcome. Not sure if it's who I think it is. You do have a kind of unique first name. If it's Jaro, no person left. And I think if it was them, they'd be a bit more curious, because I'm communicating with them on another site. You'd think that, that being said, I just realized that was hanging off only one side of me, and then that gave them a funny vibe. But anyway, she's like, hey, buddy, whoops, just went from where it was up. She says, I know that when you're not feeling well, you got to really take care of yourself and look after yourself first. I don't want to, visit with you if you're not up to it. Okay. I can visit other times, you know that. But I just wanted, yeah, to say that, like it's interesting because even though she's okay with anybody who, whether it's that knew her or whatever, or just in general, say sometimes don't get very much here, letting themselves feel their emotions if it's not harming anybody, and it's a healthy release, do it kind of thing. Um, I guess because it's kind of connected to her, she's kind of like, well, it's hard. It's hard. That's really what it is. She says that I know that people cared about me. I know that you did as well. Um, you know, they miss having fun times with me. They miss singing with me. They miss doing lots of things with me. Um, enjoying the outdoors together, enjoying the summers together, chatting with me. And I know you miss some of those things, and even though you have this ability, she says, I know it's different now. And that is sad for you, my other loved ones, and me. She says, but isn't it cool? And then she like kind of becomes very kind of positive and a bit more upbeat. She's like, but isn't it cool we can talk this way? So I don't know if it's Gerald or the person, um, and yes, it is, and I'm very thankful for it. I just didn't want Facebook to go in the group or whatever. Maybe he's unable at the moment. Those are some weird looking slippers. Pom pom slides, they're called. Well, you know what? She was always my cheerleader. She was always my cheerleader. Fate is fate. It's not a great view of it, but there we are. Closer to the camera. She's like, hey, you know what? If it makes you feel good, it makes you feel better, and other people enjoy it, I'm here for you to do some music too, and yeah, that would be an interesting one to do. I haven't thought of it in ages. Oh, okay, I can put this back in if I don't need it. Sorry about that. I'm uncertain whether I want to do that Jimmy Eat World song, which is like, oh, and you can't forget that one song, which reminds me. So just a moment. I am very tempted to try and do another one. This is getting long, but I still think it'll be under 2 hours. I think we're going to mostly do music now. One thing I do want to do first is, and it's ironic because I actually remember knowing of this song back in my days when I went to this agency, and I just, when I think of this song, I kind of think of it. Sure, I think of her now, and I think of, I used to kind of be really into it, get to this agency, and there was somebody that I want to remember to share this. So I'm going to do this really quickly because I do want to try and keep this under 2 hours, and I'm going to do at least 2, possibly 3 songs, or at least 2.5. I might just do one by memory because that might be all the energy I have, and good enough. Call it a preview, a sample, or whatever. But there was a lady who's sure that glitters is gold, buying Stairway to Heaven. All right, I'm just kidding. Welcome to whoever just tuned in. But they left. Who, I know it's going to sound like I'm just reading something frantically, but I want to share it because it was very special. I did send it to Glenn, but I just want to share it because it was very special, as I just said. So my sister was having a surgery the other day, and someone who I wasn't super close with, but she saw me perform at a Christmas party for that agency. In fact, I don't think I'd ever met her. She came up to me. I don't even remember a compliment, but there may have been one. What she did say in and of itself was kind of a compliment, though. Yeah, she apparently worked as a talent scout, or she was admin as a talent scout. And she has quite a life story. She's lived in a lot of different countries, a lot of different places. And she had suggested that I connect with somebody. The first name was actually kind of ironic. The second one, if you think, okay, and then, how nice she always was to be the best in telling that. Um, and then I think Deb too now, but she wanted to connect me with someone. I don't know how well she knew her. I don't know whether, I don't want to say, I'm completely against this, but I don't know if she knew that this person was so strongly religious and what she thought of that. I think now, especially now that she's passed, but possibly even that, I don't remember telling her how it was going. Like, she didn't seem to be online very often. I can't remember what she was saying, but passed a few years ago. And basically, but it's kind of like, yeah, sorry, that didn't work out. And no, the person herself was in the hospital. And then, yeah, just a little, like almost only did faith music. And I just don't, as much as I wanted to, as much as in some ways maybe, and it's not, I don't want to say that her being religious stopped me. I just feel like it wasn't, even in a music capacity, wasn't, meant to like to but yeah, she essentially was trying to tell me the first time she heard me simply playing Christmas music, you know, you'd sound, maybe she thought it'd sound good with that particular person's music vocals. I remember when I did discover her on this person's page, she did have a song that I am a child of God. Um, and I was really into that for a while. But she, I don't know if she was doing it to spread faith. I've never really known. She's never really said. But it's kind of, and how much of an impulse kind of reaction it is anytime she hears somebody talented. But we need people like this, especially when somebody's been struggling to get ahead with their talents. Um, Unfortunately, it didn't help, but I've never forgotten it. It was very special, and she pretty much just, I think was trying to say, you should be like, maybe she was recently in contact with thinking about this friend, especially if she'd known that she was in the hospital, hoping that she would finish her album project, and she thought the friend needed help. Could have been so many reasons, but I know that I do have talent, and I actually, sometimes it seems like some of them, where they know that they're talking about them, and somebody tells them that they're talking about them, and she's like, you do. And you need to not be thinking otherwise if that's what you're trying to do. And it's not really. But she says that I heard it. I thought, I don't know his story, his journey, very really. I don't know this person. But she says, there's somebody very briefly there, that I like to encourage people to use their talents. And you have talent musically and this way. And so I think working on, I paused there for a moment, and the person was there for a moment, but I think working on something like, me either came back, somebody else here. Is it Charo? Who is it? Who we got? Don't be shy. I'm just going to make sure that I do have that turned on, or didn't accidentally turn it off, the chat. That, it's hard to express, but yes, I meant something positive by it, said. But about, and the sister said, person was there for a few seconds and left, and said one again for a few seconds. But just the stuff that I kind of just said was mentioned there. There was somebody with her kind of unique last name that was in a comment under a video, and it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't her. I don't remember. I tried to click on a channel. Sometimes let you, sometimes not from comment mode. But as soon as I see that name, I think of her. I think it was recently put. So I mean, I know that they can do this, but I don't think they can put comments from the beyond. Although I have been in a group seeing some people post text, or that they were texting somehow somebody who was in a coma and they were able to text or whatever. I've seen a couple stories. I don't remember the details strongly, but and they can do things kind of just kind of get your attention or whatever. But no, she Uh, so that kind of made me think of her. And then she says she wants us both to know that she is thinking about us as with all of our angels, that they are hoping all works out, but giving us the strength either way to remember the good times and conversations, to hold on to it all. It all will work out for the best, and find comfort with that. I think this is before we kind of got the updates too, which are decent. Then she says we don't talk often. I'm sure I can sometimes access this type of communication ability. If nothing else, she says, always enjoying seeing me and us happy, laughing, enjoying life as we can. And when we do music, she said to me, just, I still got it. She said to me, I think just now, you still got it, kid. You've never truly lost your talent. It's been given to and she's sorry I don't feel like I use it and am heard enough. Thing with these, she says, saying to Glenn, but she says they always enjoy it. So when we can find the strength, don't force ourselves to, but do it. It can enrich the soul and lift spirits. She says, interesting, I don't hear of this often, but she says she was able to watch with both sides at once each time that he played the piano for his sister. The other one with the same first name. She jokes, your sister, aka your sister, the other one, and seen her smile, heart, her heart glow and shimmer. It could tell. um, Her thoughts were in happy and beautiful places. So let that make you smile and rejoice, for you both are gifted men and you're appreciated. You both take care of each other and be well. She also reminds me to think of the positives that came because of his leadership would bring all that goodness to a place, including the Michelle connection, instead of the stupid one at the place of her namesake, or anyone who has been unjust at the agency that we met at. She said, we don't need that kind of treatment, and her heart aches seeing the areas in which they could make improvements there, but don't because they are all too busy or think they are doing things just fine. Now, I'm going to go get the guitar. I'm going to play a couple tunes. A surprise and still have it in me. And this is getting a bit long, but it'll be under 2 hours. Sometimes it happens and time just kind of flies on us. So somebody just tuned in. I'm going to be switching over to just music now, doing a couple tunes. I just have to go get the guitar in the other room. It's often in this room, but and the first one I'm going to do is actually not the one that I have up in the viewer left, so whatever. I almost want to just do a separate one just for music and see how that does. However, I'm not going to let that tell me that the other things I say, the other thoughts I have, the channeling is not important, not special, not. But I'm going to retitle it Just the Songs. So